I was hitting the heights in athletics, right? National champion.
Okay.
Things were
You were
looking
national
really
champion?
good. Then COVID hit, right? And then I'm back at Sainsbury's.
That's a mad juxtaposition, man.
Mad.
From the heights, oh
From
my
the heights to
God.
heights. She's never spoken in front of a group of people before in her life.
To your camera.
40 to 50 years of life, human life.
It's
That
crazy.
you haven't spoken in front of a room.
And she did it for the first time in my class.
Yeah.
Afterwards, she cried and hugged me.
Yeah. There's no fruits without the roots.
Whew.
You need to
Please
build
don't
the
clip,
roots
bro.
first.
Like that.
You need to
Bro,
build the
please
roots
talk.
first.
Yeah,
that.
bro,
You
Need
please
to-
talk.
he's already got the click.
People sometimes think the fear is public speaking. The fear is not public speaking. It's a fear of public perception.
You thought you were living in Kensington.
Come out the station.
I lied.
Brixton.
Hey, Kensington versus Brixton.
Hey.
Dog.
One of the biggest things will stop people from confidence building, bro, is them trying to control all the variables.
Wow.
It's so detrimental.
When I get into these speaking rooms, usually I'm the only one under 40.
Wow.
And I'm under 30.
Hello, people. We're back once again.
Wow, man.
It's been a while. Now, I think, to them, it's been normal, innit? Because
Yeah.
we've just been back and forth, but it's been a while since we've been in the studio. And we're actually here joined with a special guest. But before oh, hello, there's my phone. Before I introduce this special man, I want to give it to my bro, because what Rob likes to do, is he likes to do these kind of WWE intros.
It's only right, man.
Do you know what I
It's
mean?
only right,
This is
man.
a WWE lover.
Yeah.
Like back in the day. I'm not
Yeah,
even sure
big one.
if
That
it was
big-
now.
not anymore, but
Not
back in the
anymore.
day, yeah,
Back in the day. But I'm going to hand it over to him.
Big one back in the
I
day.
was big back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, people, hope you guys all do well today. My name is Coach Klutse, confidence coach, consultant, lover of people, lover of life. On my right hand man, my better man, my brother
That's me.
from time.
Nah, me.
But guys, as my bro
Wait,
said
hold on.
rightfully.
Wait, let me even. I didn't even introduce myself.
Yeah, what, bro? Introduce yourself,
My
man.
name is Jonathan.
Yeah.
Right, I run a digital marketing company.
Yes,
That's
sir.
what I do.
Yes, sir.
And then obviously I'm a host of the Purpose Led podcast as well. And we run events.
Yes.
We run podcasts as we are right now.
Yes.
And we're going to be doing a lot more in the future. But yeah, stay tuned.
Yes, but hey, enough about us. Today, we want to introduce someone who's very important.
Very, very.
An amazing guy. And I want to give it the right respect. Because this guy is a man of great rapport and great respect and great honor. So,
Big word.
first things first. Today we have an award-winning speaker,
Okay.
spoken in over 300 schools and universities now.
Wow.
I can't forget
Wow.
universities.
Okay.
Unis.
Inspired over 100,000 people. That's crazy.
6 figs.
We talk. I love that ad-lib.
figs.
We talk about impressions over impact, right? The impact is the key word. 100,000 people have been impacted by him alone. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. As well as this, he is renowned by himself, the self-proclaimed, but we proclaim it too.
We proclaim, group proclaimed.
Yeah, the group proclaimed. The Hoods, Les Brown. Big up Les Brown.
Come on.
He's a speaking coach, and also he's a fellow podcaster too, man. So guys, this episode is gonna be absolutely amazing. We're talking about a lot of things. Also, I forgot to say too, he's also an athlete too.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes,
So-
how can we forget?
Yeah, a big athlete.
Yeah.
So guys, today we'll talk about athletics, we'll talk about public speaking, and guys, stay to the end because it's gonna have a lot of value. You'll be edified completely. So stay to the end throughout the whole thing. Let's get it. But without further ado, how you doing, my bro?
How you doing, friend?
Thank you. Humbled by the intro, man.
Come on, man.
Thanks for having me. Honestly.
Yes, sir.
Of course, man.
Like, I remember I stumbled across your page.
Yes.
And it's crazy how it's all happened. Stumbled across your page and I thought, damn, I shared it with a few of my friends.
Wow.
Because it's funny, when I really started on this journey,
Yeah.
I didn't see anyone.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You know, I felt very lonely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
on
Wait,
this journey.
by this journey, what do you mean?
This journey of like personal development, of trying to impact society, of
Yeah.
kind of changing like the way I think and helping other people change the way they think.
Yeah.
And it was very lonely, right? But one of the things that I used to tell people is like, just start on the journey, right? And it's like something Les Brown actually said.
Wow.
What do you say?
He says, when you take a walk in the park with someone,
Yeah.
something happens without anyone saying anything. Someone adjusts to someone's pace,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So you either speed up or you slow down. You
Yeah,
adjust because you're taking.
naturally.
Alright, okay.
It says in life, whose pace are you adjusting to?
Okay.
You get it? And he's like, you know what I'm saying? So for a
Yeah.
long time, I did feel like I was slowing down my pace because of my surroundings. So for then I started talking at my own pace and it felt very lonely. But then eventually I came across people that were going,
Hey.
you guys were just further down the line, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it felt lonely for a bit.
Mhm.
And now there's a whole community of people that I
Yes.
know that. So it's amazing that we've been able to link up here today.
100. Bro,
man.
you know what's so important about that? We spoke about our last event, right? Location is everything. Location is everything. Because as you said before, you couldn't see the people there because you were dimming your own light. But you said to yourself, no, I'm going to be my actual self. I'm going to get my light shone to the level it actually should be, these are people like us. And vice versa too, man. It was a time where I wasn't, I was dimming my light. And I let Brian out, met my brother Jono, met people like yourself too. Now we've got an amazing community too. So quick lessons to everyone right there, quick word of encouragement to everyone right there. Please, please, please don't dim in your light. That could be anything, entrepreneurship, business, mindset.
Even corporate
in
your job, yeah.
Don't let anyone dim in your light, because you have gifts within you which are there for the world to see for a reason. I think it's such an important point too, because a lot of people, right, they dim in their light because they want to conform. They want to be like everyone else. But what you've done, what we've done, I feel, is reinforce the people that no, you can be yourself and you can stand out too. That's a really important point there. But bro, before we go any further, because I know we're spitting gems already. One thing we do for all our guests, right?
Okay.
You ask them a question.
Yes.
The question is this: if this part of your life was a chapter in a book, your book, what would it be called and why?
Wow. It will be called Get Ready for Takeoff.
Oh,
Okay. Why is that?
That's how it feels, man. This chapter of my life feels like there are a lot of exciting things happening, and I'm just bracing myself for that. Right, I'm just broadening my network, working on my skill set, my strengths, my weaknesses, and soon it will blow up.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm just building a solid foundation so that when that happens, I can stay there. Because we've seen people go up and come back down.
100%.
That's
We
not
spoke
what
about
we
that too, haven't we? Like, wrong foundations can make you have such a speedy rise, but then in a couple of weeks' time, you're at the bottom again.
Yeah. There's no fruits without the roots.
Whew.
You need to
Please
build
talk
the
on it,
roots
bro.
first.
You need to
You build the roots first.
Yeah, bro.
You need
Please
to-
talk.
he's already got the click.
Oh,
yeah, I
my
forgot you came
God.
to our event.
You get to
So
see
you
it,
would
bro.
know.
Please
Yeah,
talk on that,
yeah.
please, bro, man.
So there's no fruits without the roots.
Yeah, man.
You have to have the roots first. As you
Yes.
just said, the foundation. So you're
Yeah.
setting those foundations so you can get those fruits. That's all I have to say on the matter.
And you know
That's
also
all I have
know
to say
about
on
that
the
too,
matter.
bro. That's such an amazing point. I want to tag myself in.
Oh.
WWE thing. You see it? The thing about that, you know about that? The main thing about foundations, right? Proper foundations is that when you have a proper foundations, when things go wrong in life, you might go down a couple of levels, right? But you'll never go back down to 0.0. You'll never go back never go back down to level floor, the reception floor. Never. You might be on floor 10. You might have a setback. All right, cool. Floor 7, but at least you're not on floor 0. At least. And then the mad thing is though, because you have the foundations, you've been to floor 10. Now you're back on 7. So now you know what it takes to get to 10. Then you go even further. It's crazy.
That's real.
Exactly. And the truth is, you will fall some levels at some points, you know.
Yeah.
And then again, it's about bouncing back, right?
Yeah.
That's what separates the two kind of people. Some people will be like,
100%.
oh, I've gone back down to 7. I was on 10. I flopped. I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
Then we'll be like, okay, I know how to get back to 8, 9, 10 and beyond.
100%.
Learn from my mistakes.
And bro, as we said beforehand, we don't just say it lightly. You've impacted over 100,000 people, right? But one thing we like about you, which is why we want to get you on the podcast, right? Is because you're someone who's very vulnerable. You've spoken very openly about the lows that you had on the journey too. So, bro, obviously we spoke about the highs, and we will speak about the highs a lot more. What's the lows on the journey which has helped you become the man you are today?
Man, there have been a lot of lows. So we're talking about mainly public speaking.
Yeah, in public speaking.
So I sent my first email to a school in 2017.
Okay.
2017 is when I first said, okay, this is kind of the path I want to take.
Sorry,
And
and before that, what actually made you send that email? Like, why did you even do that? Why did you even think, okay, cool, I want to speak at a school?
Yeah.
very good question. So I've been fortunate enough that I've known what I wanted to do from quite early.
Okay.
Now, when I was a kid, every 2 years we'd go to Ghana when I was living in Italy.
Big up the homeland.
Big up
Come
GA.
on, GH.
Come on.
GH.
Come on, mate.
My bad.
Come on.
So on a regular basis, we would go to Ghana
Yeah.
and I would see my family in Ghana, right? And at the time I was living in Italy. And even as a kid, there's something that didn't sit right with me, man, because my own flesh and blood cousins, my mum's sister's children, the conditions that they were living in, the conditions that I thought were absolutely crazy. But they were okay with it. They were fine with it.
Yeah.
It's life.
Here's me in Italy, like complaining about, certain little things.
Yeah.
And I used to see lots of little kids just dancing on the street. I saw happiness. But at the same time, like I saw sorrow. And I've always said, I want to inspire these people.
Okay.
Right? So that's one thing early. I've said, okay, I want to be a person that inspires people, give people hope. Initially, I thought it would just be through athletics.
We'll talk about that also. Yeah.
So I was just doing my athletics thing and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going to do well in athletics and show people that, this is by God's grace.
Yeah.
I remember I had a little deal with God. Like, make me blow in athletics. I'll help you out. I try to negotiate with God. Like, very naive.
Yeah.
But so then I asked myself that question, okay, it's not just athletics. What would someone that inspires people do? right? And I used to see the motivational speakers in America go from state to state to different schools. I said, okay, well, this is something I'm going to try and do. Now, since 2017, October, September, I sent my first email. And on the 2nd of April, 2019.
Wow.
Wait, say that again. So what? 2nd of September, 2017, do you say?
September 2017, I sent my first email.
2017. All right, cool.
Yeah.
And the 2nd of April, 2019, did my first school visit.
All right, guys, I want you guys to deep it right now. I'm doing quick math, so I could be wrong right now, right? But deep this, right? So it took you 19 months for you to get your first role in a school when you started in 2017. Guys, that's a big lesson right there for everyone right now. Yes, you may have a dream. Yes, you might have a vision. You might start very zealous. That's a fact. You probably will. You
What
start
does zealous mean?
like enthusiastic, ready to go, passionate, right? But when you get setback, the first setback in the road, you stop. Bros reinforced very clearly. It took him 19 months. Let me say 18 months, because I don't know about the maths right now. That's it right now.
Year and a half.
18, a year and a half
Year
it
and a
took
half,
him to get his first role, right? He was consistent, he was persistent, had a vision in place. Make sure the why is stronger than anyhow, because you easily could have given up on the journey there.
Easily,
But you
bro.
didn't.
Wait, what were you doing between those 2 points?
So at the time I'm at university, I'm doing athletics, and I'm still just trying. Like,
Yeah.
I've always been someone to try, right? So I'm trying different things, and trying different avenues. And eventually, the first one I did was even free, right? I wasn't paid.
Okay.
Yeah, so how I got my first gig, hilarious. So I would always email. That was my first thing.
Yes.
And I realized that wasn't working. So I thought, let me try phone calls, okay?
Cold
and
calling.
phone calls, try cold calling the schools. And it was okay. Some schools would show interest. They'd send us an email, and then it just wouldn't really work.
Yeah.
I was doing it in mass. So I'd cold call like 40, 50 schools a day.
Oh, right. Okay.
A day, just
And you were this passionate in uni times.
uni times.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
So, boom. Schools in Brighton, see the numbers. There's usually like a list on some sort of gov website. Cool. And that didn't really work. And then I realized it's not going to happen via email, via call, right? And something about myself, anyways, I'm a lot better in person. So, for example, if I was to approach a girl, if I was to move to her online, it wouldn't really work for me.
Yeah.
But
It was better in real life, man.
do you get it?
Everything
But in real life,
Yeah, it was
I know
better
that
in real life. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a different situation.
yeah.
So I'm like, I need to get in.
Yeah.
So what I did is I signed up to this agency who did fundraising events.
Okay.
And for free. So they did it for free.
Yeah.
You had to volunteer to go into a school on a careers night
Okay.
and speak about whatever career you're in.
Yeah.
So when I went there, there were doctors talking about NHS. There were mathematicians talking about whatever,
Yeah.
etc. And then there was me. I didn't necessarily have anything to speak about. So I had my own store. I just had a picture of me. And I was just, it was a bit awkward at the time.
Yeah.
Parents were just coming out saying, oh, so what are you?
So what do you do? Like,
But I was playing chess.
Yeah.
okay.
So now I'm in the schools. So I can speak to the head teacher direct
You got into the environment.
inside.
That's good. Yeah.
So I'm there speaking to the head teachers. And I'm like, listen, this is what I aspire to do. This is what I'm doing. Just give me 15 minutes for the kids. I'll do it for free. Free. A few still said no. A few said yes.
Okay.
Because you're live and direct. You're in their face.
In their face. And
They
they're
have to make the
seeing the
decision.
passion that
Hard
I
to
put.
say no.
Yes,
Some of them are like, okay, this guy is a go-getter. You know,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
come here,
okay.
speaking to me.
Grinder, man.
Cool. We usually do assemblies on a Thursday. You free on Thursday? Yes, I'll be here. What time's assembly? 8 o'clock. Cool. Well, usually it'll be 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
8:30, I'm there. I'm ready to do the assembly.
Okay.
And that's how I got my first few speaking engagements absolutely free. And then I was able to use those as references to get other speaking engagements. And that's when it slowly started to grow.
And why kids first as well?
Very, very interesting. Next generation. Right? The next generation, I've always been passionate about the next generation. And the older I get, the more passionate I get about the next generation. Especially I have 2 little sisters. So I'm the oldest. I'm like the only boy.
Okay.
I've always felt a sense of responsibility for people that were younger than me.
Yeah.
Likewise, I got 3 little sisters.
So you know exactly what
indeed.
it's like, bro. That's big, bro.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I felt. And that's what made me want to go down that journey, man. So one of the lows, to start off, one of the lows was it took me ages.
Yeah.
Ages to even get started.
Yeah.
You know, and then it takes ages to build credibility.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's true. And you're around kids. You have to have
You
credibility.
have to have credibility.
Yeah.
And even away from even the schools, like the speaking game is a game of credibility. Because I've met a couple of people who run conferences,
Yeah.
right? And I'll ask them, so how do you get speakers, right? And they're like, you need to understand, when I get a speaker, my whole business is on the line. My reputation is on the line.
Yeah.
So I'm hardly ever going to just get a random speaker from the internet.
Yeah.
More so it's going to be a recommendation from someone who's already heard from this person. He's done well at their event. So I'm going to get them onto my event. So that's the thing, that it took a really long time to get there.
Yeah.
I understand why, because like it's like how people say, okay, you want a job where you need experience, but I've never had a job before, so how do I get experience to be able to get the job? The chicken and the egg, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm following.
You know, and the biggest setback for myself was COVID, right? In terms of athletics, in terms of speaking, COVID, because obviously I'm speaking in education, schools are closed, and that was a source of income for me that at the time was gone. For all the other sources of income. And it's documented. I had to really humble myself and go back to Sainsbury's, work as a delivery driver for a good period of time. That was a real difficult time.
I can imagine, man. Especially when you have a dream, on the line. You know what you want to do. You have a clear goal, but now through external circumstances, you've completely been misdirected or redirected now. So how do you deal with that then?
And a reputation as well. You're building a reputation.
Yeah.
Now.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So it's the hard thing for me when I go into schools. I tell these kids, there's absolutely nothing wrong with working at Sainsbury's, etc. But for me, I was already getting to a certain level, right, within athletics, within speaking.
Yeah.
And for it to come crashing down,
Straight, yeah.
I felt embarrassed. I'll be honest, like it felt embarrassing. Like I'll be driving around, the ends, East Dulwich, Peckham, Camberwell, hoping I wouldn't see anyone in my high vis.
Really?
Like, it was a tough time for
I can
me.
imagine, yeah.
That was a real tough
They're
time.
like, well, I saw you're the speaker. Like, yeah.
Speaking of the athlete, some of these young people probably gone to their schools and inspired them. They think I'm doing all these things, and then they just see me, I'm delivering their shopping. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but the ego was bruised at the time.
Yeah, of course.
Also, my mindset wasn't where it was now. So that was the lowest point for me, like COVID period, where I had to humble myself, go back to Sainsbury's to just make ends meet.
How did you make that decision? Like, what was the point where you said, okay, I have to do this? Like, there isn't, like, what's the other, I have to do this?
Interesting. So it was COVID and schools were closed.
Okay.
And then I still had some income coming in from athletics.
Okay.
And then when I found out that those weren't going to come through anymore as well,
Right.
I'm in a position where I have expenses of an
Yeah.
athlete, of a
Yeah.
speaker,
Yeah.
but then no income, right?
Okay.
And rapidly the savings were going.
someone's gotta give.
And I said, I need to make a decision here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say, like, humble myself and do it. And it was really hard. I'm not gonna lie, it was really hard throughout the process. The managers weren't nice. The environment weren't nice. I wasn't in a good headspace.
Yeah.
But
The question is, what do you learn from it though?
I learned so much.
Yeah, I can imagine, man.
Number one, it taught me how to be a good leader because I learned
Okay.
what not to do when leading people.
I like that.
I like that.
Talk to
Okay.
us. So what's the biggest things?
Chat to us about
Yeah, talk to us, please.
One of the biggest things for me to be a good leader is
Yeah.
for the people that you're leading, they need to feel understood.
Okay.
They need to feel like you care,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Especially with kids. People say kids don't care what you know until they know that you care.
There's something you've seen.
100%.
People
Kids
don't
won't care what you know until they know that you care.
Mm.
You show them that, okay, I actually care about you. I care about your progress. I care about your circumstances. You know what I'm saying? And that was not the situation, obviously, at Sainsbury's.
Yeah, of
Like,
course.
It was just boom, 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 boom.
You're just a means to an end to them.
Just a means
Yeah,
to an end.
because you could be replaced by someone else.
And I don't necessarily blame them because I was
Yeah.
Yeah.
very replaceable.
Yeah, unfortunately,
So,
but
unfortunately, and that's how I was treated.
Yeah.
So that was one of the main things. Second, the ability to communicate, which is why I'm now a communications coach, right? And
We'll talk about that.
yeah.
Honestly, and one thing I realized about you, you're very good at communicating. Like from the second that obviously I met you, the eye contact and stuff like that, we were meeting and all that kind of. Like cause when you see people, like you realize these things as soon as you meet them.
Thank you,
So I could tell straight off the bat.
Very good eye contact, very good
Yeah.
body language,
Hold
very
yourself well.
methodical. Is it methodical? Yeah, methodical in the way you speak. To.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, the ability to communicate it's really important. It's really important because it's your ability to get your point across.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's your ability to get your point across in a way that it might be a complex thing, but you have to be able to simplify.
Yes.
it,
Yes.
for people to easily understand you. And number one thing is respect. Right. I quickly lost respect for the managers I had at Sainsbury's because of the way they were treating me, and that made me not want to work for them.
Yeah.
And you see it every time in workplaces. Like when people lose respect for their work environment, for their managers, they no longer want to do that.
Of course.
When people have respect,
Yeah.
you see it in football as well, right?
Yeah,
When people really
100%.
respect a football manager, they will run
Right
a mile.
Run for them. Yeah, 100%.
When they don't rate the manager. So those are some of the lessons that I learned,
Yeah.
man, at Sainsbury's.
And you know, beautiful thing about that, bro. Sorry to butt in very quickly, right? Despite the fact you went through the low period of your life, right? Isn't it funny how every single low in your life is there to help you get to another level? Because, bro, now you have so much more substance to who you are as a person now. Obviously, you had the athletics, which we'll get into. You had your whole journey as a whole, right? Your story is a journey itself, right?
100%.
But now you've got an extra layer to yourself now. Now you can relate on a deeper level. And as you said, now you're a better leader now. And those tips there are so big in terms of how to be a good leader, because one thing I've learned about in leadership too, right? If you can't communicate properly, what you actually lead, who are you leading? You can't lead anyone if you can't communicate properly. And I don't know if you're a good leader in the sense where you're a good communicator beforehand, but I'm sure after the journey with Sainsbury's, you've been able to increase your levels of leadership now, which is in itself is a blessing.
100%, man. And like you said, you grow through what you go through. 100%. 100%. But you need to have that perspective. Right.
Yes, and it's hard at the moment, of course. It's hard.
Because it's hard in the moment. And it's even hard afterwards, because a lot of people will look at their difficult times in life and say, I went through this as a kid. I went through that. I went through this. All of these bad things happened to me. Right. But they never take a moment to reflect, what could I have learned from these moments? How have I grown from there? And if you don't, then you probably make the same mistakes. So everyone's learns from their struggles. And struggle is actually important, to be fair, like for growth. But you have to have that perspective shift of like, okay, what have I learned from this situation? Because if you don't, then if you do, then you'll be more well equipped, better equipped for next adversity that will come 100%. In the future. If you don't, then you probably repeat the same mistakes.
100%.
And my key perspective shift was actually understanding that not everything is happening for me, not to me. So when I look back in the past, I'm like, okay, because I remember you said, oh yeah, all these things happen to them. But then in my head, it's like all these things happen for me.
Yeah.
So whatever it may be. So for example, this Sainsbury's situation, right? Not situation, but you had to go back and work there. I can relate. I used to work at Sainsbury's. I used to be the guy in the cafe with the hat on. Like, that's what I used to do, eating food behind the thing. That's what I used to do, innit? And I can relate to that. Like even a little bit of embarrassment. I see my people, them doing this, doing that, whatever. Seeing people I know, because obviously it was local, the Sainsbury's that I worked at. And then like even the managers as well, me losing respect for them. Did I have respect for them in the first place? That's questionable. But then obviously when you meet someone, you can kind of gauge the level of, do you see what I'm saying? And there was certain situations there that I'll never forget, but then I've learned from all of them. I've learned from all of them, and it's a story that I can tell. It's stuff that's actually people can relate to. And when we put clips out of me speaking about that, people are like, oh my days, I remember that. Oh, Sainsbury's, rare, all this, all that. And it has its good points, and it also does have its bad points, and it always has its lessons.
100%. And it's important, especially for me, like as a speaker, speaking to young people, relatability. I think that's what sets me apart from most of the speakers, guys. I'm not going to lie. When I get into these speaking rooms, usually I'm the only one under 40.
Wow.
And I'm under 30.
yeah.
Usually I'm the only one under 40.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So not many speakers of color, number one. Hardly any young speakers, two. So when I'm going into these schools, like even just by the way, I'll just go in Jordans, and already they're just like, okay, like
who's this? Yeah.
Jordans, and I try
Is that very intentional of you then?
100%.
Okay.
So you have to walk through the corridor.
Oh, who's this guy?
You know, back in there, you see someone who's older in those nice clothes.
Older and nice,
he's
you're just a
cool.
kid.
Yeah.
But it's a new teacher or something.
But it's interesting because we'll pick this stuff out. Because remember when you came in here, I said, bro, I like the books, man. I like the shoes. You got the little Dior. The big Dior.
Yeah, come on,
and he's
man.
a Christian, you know what I mean? Listen, and that's the kind of stuff that catches our eye. So it's those little things that set you apart. But continue, bro.
Yeah. So very, very, very intentional. But so I was gonna say with the young people, relatability. I think that's why I can really get through to them.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the same message that the teachers are telling them, right? But the teacher's like a middle-aged, rich, white
Don't
man.
look like them.
You are a young black man from the end.
Yeah.
So you don't even know what I'm going through. You want to tell me, you're going to give me advice, right?
Yeah.
But if I go in, that relatability, so important. So when I go in and I tell them my journey, especially the sixth formers and the secondary schools, I tell them the whole journey, right? All the way up to the top. And the mad thing is, just before COVID, I'm going to go into athletics, but I was hitting the heights in athletics, right? National champion.
Okay.
Things were
You were
looking really
national
good. Champion.
We clap for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You know
What?
what I'm saying?
Things were looking really good. Then COVID hit, right? And then I'm back at Sainsbury's. And
That's a mad juxtaposition, man.
mad.
From the heights, oh
From
my
the heights
God.
to heights. Like, I remember I just did, so I went on Ninja Warrior, right?
Yeah, I saw that clip.
So I'm doing like these TV appearances, like things are going really, really well. And then boom. And I'm so glad it happened. Because now when I go into the schools, I show them, guys, this is life.
Yeah.
It's life. You up,
Yeah.
might come back down. So I really learned like how to have more balance in my emotions as well, right? Don't get too high in the highs.
That's so good.
Don't get too low in the lows.
That's
Just
so good.
be quite balanced. Of course, celebrate your wins and you're going to be sad, but just don't get too high in your high. Stay humble, stay grounded.
Yeah.
And when you're low, just understand it's just a moment in time. You'll come back up.
Season.
I think at both levels you have to understand it's just a moment of time.
Yeah.
So that's how you maintain that balance. Like, this is high. Like, I don't want to get high off of this high. Like, I don't want to keep, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to understand that there is highs in life and there are also lows in life. So you got to prepare for the lows, enjoy the highs, but then strike that balance.
100%. And
Strike
just that shift,
balance.
it can help so much. And I just tell the young people, guys, you go to a theme park, right? And you see the rides. There's no ride that just go back up.
Come on,
no ride that
come
just
on.
go back down.
Yeah,
Life is
yeah.
a ride.
There'll
be ups and downs. And it will help you because when you're down, you'll be like, okay, it's just a season. It'll go back up. And when you're up, you'll be like, okay, let me just stay grounded, which is hard. Initially, like every time I get a new client, like I'm buzzing. I'm just saying, but
As you
I've
should be.
learned-
Like,
as
well
you should be,
done.
100%,
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. But I've learned that okay, this is good. Let's just keep going. So yeah, relatability.
I want to touch on very quickly or very briefly actually on the athletics, man, because you said that's a mad juxtaposition from being athletics champion of Italy, I'm assuming, right? To
Huh?
yeah.
Italy?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Because you said you were in Italy, but I didn't even put the two, like, in Italy.
You're Italian national
Italian
champion.
stallion.
Italian sprinter, yeah. So
Yeah,
I was born
yeah.
in Milan and moved to the UK when I was 12.
Okay.
And that was a crazy experience in itself.
Yeah.
Moved to... So when you're in Italy,
Yeah.
what's advertised of London is Buckingham Palace,
All right, tea and
Hyde
biscuits.
Park,
Yeah.
tea and biscuits.
Mm.
And then we landed at Stansted Airport.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what's going on there? Then we got the coach to Victoria.
Okay.
And I was rubbing my hands. We made it. Like,
Yeah,
I'm coming from
nice.
Milan, I'm in London.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, yeah, we're just going to get the tube 4 or 5 stops.
Yeah.
Thinking, okay, like, especially in Italy, the tube stations aren't very far from each other.
Okay.
The 5 stops is literally just down the road.
Yeah.
Thinking, bro, I live in central London.
Wait, so, sorry,
what
hold
you
on
thought?
a sec. So, you've come from Italy now.
I'm from Italy.
You've lived there from when you were
Born
to 12.
to 12.
I'm just sorry. I'm just the accent. There's no
Yeah, no, there's no
detection of that.
Yeah, word. That's true,
Crazy.
actually.
Yeah, I don't know how. I
Yeah.
genuinely don't even know how.
That's I guess it's environment, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
It's literally envi- But sorry, continue, bro.
So so in Victoria,
Yeah.
Victoria Line tube station.
Yeah.
I'm just smiling. I'm thinking, we're living essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
essential, baby.
You thought you were living in Kensington.
Come out the station,
I lied.
Brixton.
Hey, Kensington versus Brixton.
Hey.
Dog.
Came out, and this is Brixton pre-gentrified.
Yes.
Ah.
So real Brixton.
But I come out
Yeah.
confused. Especially
Yeah.
because in Italy, you will never see a lot of black people
Yeah.
in one place, unless it's church on a
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah.
And then we just scatter.
Yeah.
So I'm in Brixton, I'm seeing more black people than white people.
Okay.
Confused.
Yeah.
It was, I'm seeing a market. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
crazy. Sorry, what was the question that you asked?
So I think we were going
Oh,
back
the athletics.
to the
Yeah,
athletics.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
athletics,
sorry.
right.
I digressed.
So I said about the juxtaposition, sorry, from athletics to Sainsbury's, and then my next point was essentially talk to us about athletics. Obviously, you said beforehand you thought your purpose essentially was just to inspire people through your athletics, right?
yeah.
So then, how can we talk about this whole journey in general, bro?
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
crazy that you're the national champion.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah,
So
of Italy.
athletics.
Yeah.
That's how we got to that.
That's how we got to
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So athletics, I'm so grateful for athletics.
Yeah.
Athletics is such a massive pillar in my life for so many reasons. Number one, it taught me discipline.
Okay.
It taught me discipline. At most days, you don't want to go training, bro. It's cold. You're tired.
Yeah.
You don't want to go.
Yeah.
But you have to go.
So what? Were you very big? Are you very big on vision? And were you very big? Do you have a very clear vision in place then?
Have to. You know what I'm saying? That's what it taught you. It taught you to have a vision. It taught you delayed gratification.
Imagine.
Because we start training September, October, we race in the summer. So you're working hard now for a goal that may or may not happen. There is no guarantee in athletics. You can train your butt off
And then
Right.
get injured.
and get injured, or not run fast.
Yeah.
You just never, like, there are so many variables and circumstances, right? So athletics taught me so many things. Started my journey, school days, I just win all the sports day races.
Come on.
Yeah. And my teacher's called Mr. Silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
from
real
Togo.
name?
His name's Mr. Silly.
Well, in Italy or England? This was?
England, PE
Okay.
teacher, Mr. Silly from Togo. He used to do athletics. He
Okay.
represented Togo, I think, at some Commonwealth Games.
Oh wow.
dope.
And he pushed me, he's like, get into athletics.
There's always,
And,
there's always that one teacher.
There's
innit?
always that one,
Yeah,
man. There's
100,
always that one. That's to believe in you. And that's how it started. So did 1 year, I used to play football. Did 1 year of football. was okay, not crazy. Played for Croydon Juniors. Nothing
Yeah,
crazy.
come on.
And then 1 year of athletics, and I went to English schools the first year.
Oh wow.
English schools is a really big competition. So how you get to English schools is first you do Lambeth schools,
All right.
you win that. Then you do London schools, you come top
Oh,
3 in that.
wow.
Then you represent London
I
at
see.
English schools.
I see.
Against
Okay.
all of the other like Hampshire, Surrey, Manchester.
Question. Why did you choose Italy then?
To represent Italy.
Yeah, not England, because you'll go through the ranks of England, like London, Lambeth, yeah, all that.
Yeah.
Why did you choose Italy then?
It's a very good question. So, but when I started athletics, I had been in this country for like 4 or 5 years. Not even less, like 3, 4 years. I had been in Italy for 11, 12 years.
Yeah.
So I felt a lot more Italian.
I hear it.
Number 1. Number 2, to be honest, it was easier.
Okay.
There is less
Got less
Competition.
competition.
Yeah.
There's still really good athletes, but there'll be, let's say, 4 elite athletes, and then after there's some space. Here there'll be 20 elite athletes, you know. So those were the 2 main reasons when I came across the thing. I said, yeah, I'm gonna represent Italy.
So obviously you speak about the vision, right? The importance of having a vision, the importance of you delaying classification, and you're saying now how you went from Croydon Championships to Lambeth Championships to London Championships to now national championships. So at that point there, what happens next?
Crazy. So running on TV for the first time on Sky Sports,
Wow.
How did that feel?
incredible, man. It was a dream come true.
Wow.
That's how it genuinely felt.
And at a point, do you think that was your purpose? That was you there?
Yes, I thought, damn, this is it. Because it's my first year proper doing athletics as well.
You're like 16, 17.
Nah, I thought 15.
So this is your first year properly doing athletics, and you're on TV?
Yeah, running on TV on
crazy,
Sky
man.
Sports with my boys. We did a relay and then we won it.
What?
Okay. So that's like the icing on the cake as
And
well.
then we won it. And I remember there's a video on YouTube. It's hilarious because I was really, really skinny those
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
And then I remember I ran first leg. Usually 4th leg gets the most love, right?
Because
You know what I'm saying? So I did the
Yeah.
first leg.
Yeah.
Then when I saw we won, I ran back to the 4th leg guy
Yeah.
just to hug him, to go to the camera.
Yeah,
just to feel alright. Like,
Yeah.
my mama see me.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Mama
Sky
made it.
Sports. That was an amazing moment. And actually remember, so that all happened over the weekend. And then Monday I was back at school. And even just that moment, I was like, bro, I just hit like the heights of my life. Now I'm back in English.
Isn't
like,
that funny, bro?
everything's normal.
We had 2 stories so far, what you said to us already, yeah? And you had the highs to lows in both of them. And that's the lesson about life. Life is never like, it's how can I say it? Life has a lot of similar sequences, right? There's going to be many highs, also many lows too. But one of the main things you said already, bro, right? It's for everyone right now. Never let the highs gas your head. Never let the lows create who you think you are. Because the truth is, right, balance is the key word in everything. You can't allow the lows to dictate who you think you are, because there's going to be lows in life. There's going to be lows in life. You're going to feel like, damn, I'm in a low place right now. Perhaps this is who I am. And then that's very dangerous. But the same way too, we're on the highs. You might be thinking top of the world. You might be thinking, this is who I am.
Me.
That's also very dangerous too. You might start seeing people and look at people differently now.
100%.
In the same way, when you're on the lows, you might be thinking and look at people differently also. So just the key thing for everyone right there, from the whole team, is balance. Don't let the highs change you. Don't make the lows change you either. So yeah, I just want to say that right there, man. 'Cause that's a really good point, bro, man.
100%, man. And also, I'm so grateful for athletics because athletics gave me something to speak about, right? Big reason why I am the only speaker under 40 in these rooms is because
Crazy, man.
these people have either like had great companies and are now speaking about their successes,
Yeah.
had great careers and are speaking about successes, right? Usually to speak, you need to have gone through
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
and then you have something to say.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But fortunately for me, I had the athletics and it actually gave me something to speak about. Now my talks aren't necessarily about athletics, they're about other things. But initially, that's
Is there, what do you call it? It's like it helps you get into the room. That's what it is. It helps you get into the room. That's it. Like, yeah, I've done this. All right, cool. Let me talk now. You know the ones there.
100%.
But yeah, bro, I just say, so what? Well, we went back to English now after the highs of winning the race, right?
Yeah.
English. I want to skip now, if we may, to
Wait,
you.
so I know you wanted to. Can you wait? So what were you gonna say?
I'll go talk about you winning the national champion.
Okay.
Okay, so
yeah.
just
What you
before that,
think,
because I was off the back of what
Yeah.
you just said, I wanted to hear about is it disparity, like the difference between you being on Sky News or Sky TV, sorry, Sky Sports, sorry,
Yeah.
I don't even watch that. That's the one. But you being on Sky Sports one day and then in school the next day.
Yeah.
What was the feeling of that?
Man, so it was different to the Sainsbury's thing because I didn't
Yeah.
feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of people gassing you up.
Yeah.
But it was a very feeling of humility.
Oh wow.
I felt very humbled, and I was like, okay, like as much as I'm one of the fastest kids in the country, I just won gold at this championship.
Yeah,
Still-
fam.
Literally, it's like the world saying, so what?
Wow.
You just get it.
Like back to reality, like.
So that was
thing. At 15 years old, you had the level of humility.
Yeah.
I would have done that at 15. What? I'll be gassed.
Yeah. Nah, that was it was a big humbling moment. Like,
Yeah,
you're still a school kid, back to school, you know, and yeah.
So yeah, bro, as I was saying, man, how did you get from that point there to now being national champion of Italy? Can you narrate us through that story,
Yeah,
please?
of course.
Bossy?
So English schools was great.
Yeah.
And started to do well. I moved to a coach in Crystal Palace at the time. I was a local coach in Herne Hill.
Okay.
Moved to a coach in Crystal Palace called John Powell, and it was a good group at the time. It was a really good group. Lots of athletes who had gone to the Olympics.
Oh, wow, okay.
So that was like a totally new environment. Pushed myself there, and I slowly climbed the ranks. It's actually going really, really well. Funnily enough, before we started to do well and I signed for my team in Italy, it took a really long time. So it took me 7 years to sign my first deal. That's another mad thing. It took me 7 years. So
From when to when?
from 2011 to 2018.
Wow.
2018 is when I first signed.
What were you doing beforehand then? What were you doing that? Sorry, what were you doing that
In
time
that
period?
time, yeah.
Just trying to get signed.
Wow.
So no, but you've been used to it then. So even with the school thing, like you've been used to like trying for a long time and it's something not happening.
To me, like and I always say there's two types of people, man. And two types of people. They both have a goal, both have a vision. They both want to do really well. One of them will knock. They'll knock on the door of opportunity, look around and be like, damn, no one in the house. I want to go home. Me, I would knock and knock and knock and knock and knock and knock. Eventually, something will come to me. If now someone started knocking, just knocking for 5 minutes, you would pause this and be like, what's happening?
What's going on? Yeah, who is
And I
this?
just do that to the universe. I'm like, bang, 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 bang. And that was that. With athletics, it took a really, really long time. Ups and downs, patience.
Yeah.
And eventually signed with a team in Tuscany, Luca,
Italy, right?
in Italy,
Okay.
who really believed in me.
Damn.
And then then we did the national championships over there. Because even prior to signing, I couldn't really compete in Italy much.
Okay.
So I was racing over here, but I was in the Italian rankings.
Okay.
Quite complicated. But I couldn't really race over there. I didn't have a team.
Right.
And eventually signed for them, went to the national championships, and then we were able to come back with the gold, man.
Dope.
Able to come back with the gold. And
That's amazing.
Crazy.
yeah.
I ain't want gold nothing, bro. That's it.
But you want gold in life, man.
Gold in life,
can't,
man. Just starting that, know what I mean?
Yeah. So it was it's like, so that was the age group championships. I think that was under 23 championship something.
Yeah.
On the gold. Then 2019 at the senior championships, got into the final. So the top 6 get into the final. Got into the final, didn't finish
year
the
was this,
race because I got hurt. So 2018 is when I won national gold. 2019 I got to the final of the senior championships.
Yeah.
And then I was in the top 6. And I
Okay.
thought, damn, if I continue on this road, have a real good chance of making the 2020 Olympics
Oh.
for the relay in the 400 meters.
Yeah, of course.
You know, if I'm in a top rank 6, 7,
Yeah.
could get picked.
Yeah.
And then 2020, COVID. Right. So then boom, all the way back down. And it's funny because my story in athletics is, I feel like I'm in the middle because I went through COVID. I got COVID myself. I got quite a bad knee injury, and my performances haven't really recovered since.
Wow.
Even till now, 2022.
Okay.
I still haven't run as fast as I run pre-COVID.
What's your PB then? What was
So like for 100 meters, to make it simple, my PB is 10.6. Right, and I ran 10.6 pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And actually, straight after COVID, struggled to run under 11 seconds again. Right?
Wow.
And only now, I'm slowly getting back to the form that I was in before. And, you know, the Paris Olympics in 2 years are now what we're pushing
We
for.
got Olympia. I'm speaking of faith, man. We got Olympia on the podcast.
Amen.
man.
Of course, man.
Amen. Yeah, 100%. So what? Is the goal Paris then?
The goal is to make those Olympics. And
Amen.
imagine I went through all of that, didn't make the games, all the way back down, worked back up, and then make the Paris Olympic Games.
It's an even better story.
Even better story.
Even better.
Way better than just
Yeah.
becoming national champion and then just going to Olympics.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Became national champion, back down, got injured, got COVID, worked at Sainsbury's, worked my way back up, made it to the Olympics.
But bro, see how it all comes full circle. Because remember we said earlier on about foundations, bro. You put the right foundations in place. So guess what? You've gone down a couple levels now, but you're never gonna be on floor 0 ever again. You're floor 7 now.
And,
So what you
guess,
need to
and
do,
I know that.
yeah, and you know it, bro. So what you need to do right now, obviously, easier said than done.
Of course.
Cut off those 0.34 seconds, and then get to Olympics.
But
How difficult is that to do? Because I've
That's a
always
question, man.
because you said 11 to 10.6. 10.6. I'm thinking
Big
0.4 like what going
Not
like is it actually
Yeah.
because I'm thinking in terms of like driving like racing and stuff like even go-karts. I went in a go-karts in Spain, I went to Spain the
Come
other
on,
day. Flew out quickly. Flew out quickly.
Quick one.
And I was on a go-karts and I was like, fam, like why is the time difference so like it's so little but so much?
Yeah,
I'm guessing it's the same for running.
it's the same for running.
0.4 seconds.
0.4 is a big gap.
Really?
It's a very big gap. Because if you just think about it, so my PB is 10.6. Usain Bolt's world record is 9.5.
Yeesh.
4.1 seconds.
You think it's not a lot, but it's a gap.
What? 1.
Yeah, one. It's literally a second.
second.
But yeah, one. But
It's
it's mad.
actually
Athletics
so
is-
nuts how
a game of
much it can
margins.
actually.
So what's the PB in Italy right now then?
Sorry?
What's the PB? What's the
Italy.
Italian record?
So recently,
Yeah.
so we have a national champion now.
I know the 100,
Olympic
100
champion,
meters winner was Italian.
Marcel Jacobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Do you know
he's-
him? Or
Yeah, so he runs for Luca, my team.
wow.
Oh,
Which is
wow.
absolutely crazy.
Environment again.
Environment again.
Environment. He runs
Yeah.
for
What's
Luca.
his PB? I swear it was like
So you run 9.8 now.
9.8. Yes, I thought it was
Th-
9.
But these are just sounding so like it just sounds so close, but I just know it's not like in terms of running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible. But even with the Marcel story, it's incredible because seeing him win the Olympics, it's kind of changed Italian athletics. Like,
Wow.
I can imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
Bringing
because
it,
it's
bringing
that
it home.
belief, right?
Yeah.
People can see, oh my God, an Italian can do this. We can all do this.
That's how they just think it's just like the Jamaicans who win.
You're like, oh, we're
Usain
not meant for
Bolt.
this.
Yeah.
And
We're
even
Americans.
to full circle that, that's a big part of why I do what I do, man. Representation, right? When I was a kid,
Yeah.
the only quote unquote successful black person I saw was 50 Cent on the
Wow.
television, right?
Yeah.
So for me to,
What an icon.
you get it?
What a role model.
50 Cent.
Many
Yeah.
men, man.
Many men. Hey.
Many men.
Many
God
men.
Richard I
forbid,
tried.
God forbid, man.
So,
But yeah, you'll say, bro.
yeah, so for me to go into schools and for a kid that looks like me to say, bro, I can do it.
Yeah.
So it's really important. Really important.
I don't see anyone that looks like us doing what you're doing. Like maybe it's just because I'm not looking, but I don't see people who look like you, who look like me, who look like Rob,
Yeah.
doing what you're doing, going into schools and speaking to people. I never had that. We never had that at Langley. I don't remember anyone looking like us. Do you remember that?
No.
Coming in and
In my
speaking.
primary school, one.
Primary school,
But
okay.
in secondary school, no.
Secondary school, I don't remember that. Sixth form, I don't remember that either.
No.
So you're doing something that's different, bro. And you're actually helping people, which is amazing. And well done to you for that.
Thank you.
We'd like to do something similar, of
Yeah,
course. We'd like to
yeah.
inspire a generation, man. And just following in your footsteps right now. You're paving the way and you're showing that it's possible.
That's it. Which is a really big thing, right? Again, when I first started speaking, I didn't know anyone. I don't know any speakers. I don't even know if what I'm doing is possible.
Yeah.
I'm just trying a thing. And I know that if I can do it, kick down the doors,
Yeah.
so many more
Trailblazer,
people.
bro.
And,
Trailblazing
that's
stuff.
genuinely how it has felt. You know,
Yeah.
now I know a network of speakers.
Yeah.
Again, no one's really young. No one really looks like us. No, there are some people that look like us, but not many young people. And so I feel like I'm kind of representing our generation at the moment
Yeah.
and really
100%.
clocking the game. And I have a vision, like I have a plan. Eventually, everyone in my network, including yourselves, will be going into schools and inspiring people.
Yeah.
Once I really have an imprint in the game.
It's
So
actually funny you say that, because one of my friends wants us to go to a school. And actually next week,
Yes.
one of my friends, and next week I'm actually going to a university to speak about
My speaker.
about imposter syndrome. It'll be out by this time. I'll be speaking about imposter syndrome, which is such an important point because obviously go off topic very quickly. A lot of people struggle with imposter syndrome. At our event last week, now we had a live event here, a live podcast here, and the mad things, bro. 65% of people struggle with imposter syndrome.
Wow.
65% of people. But the thing is, I don't believe that. I think it's more.
I think it's more.
100%.
So in the communications classes that I do,
Yeah.
that is one of the main things that people speak about. I usually
Wow.
get them to ask why you're here, right?
Wait, sorry. How does a communications class work? Because I saw that that's something that you did, and I saw you speaking to a group of people, like maybe a little bit older than you, maybe about the same age. Like, how exactly does that work?
It's funny, with the communications classes, most people are older than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that like for you?
Now it's fine.
I'm thinking, how's it like for them? Because they're coming and they're seeing this young guy like telling me about life,
I know.
telling me about how to communicate.
And I absolutely love it because when they walk in, they're thinking, okay, I'm going to public speaking class, communications class.
Yeah.
And they walk in and then they see this black dude standing there with a trap star hat
Yeah.
playing like Tupac. Like usually, I'm just playing
What's the
Tupac.
favorite Tupac song?
what you won't do.
Yeah. Do for love.
But I want Heaven Ain't
Yeah.
Hard to Find.
Heaven Ain't Hard to find. That's a
that's
good
good.
one.
Good
Yeah.
one, yeah.
I like Do for Love as well.
Fellas,
Good one. But yeah, but the reason I asked that question, right? Okay, guys, put my hand up. It's a bit of a selfish question, right? Obviously, I'm getting to coaching myself, right? I want to talk to people who are older than me. So how was that like for you at first, bro? Like talking to people who are older than you. Was it hard?
So it wasn't hard.
Okay.
Because of the mindset that I was in at the time.
Okay.
But it can be hard if you haven't necessarily got the mindset. You really have to have the courage of your convictions, right? And you have to understand that in every situation, there's an alpha, right? So, especially when communicating, when negotiating, when you're doing sales, there's always an alpha. And even if you are the most alpha person, you'll be in a room where you're not alpha. For example, President of the United States, right? That is like the most alpha person. If he goes to the dentist because his tooth hurt, in that room, the dentist is the alpha. Because if he tells you, pattern up, stop eating sweets.
You're going to pattern up and stop eating sweets.
You get it? So whatever room you're in, there is an alpha, right?
Yeah.
And it's got nothing to do with age, it's got nothing to do with anything. It's got to do with the way you carry yourself,
100%.
right? And that's something that I understood. So when I'm in those rooms, I'm the boss, right? There are people in those rooms. Sometimes I do think like, I have to pinch myself. I'm thinking that was ridiculous. Like I'm speaking to people who own construction companies, to have bids for governments, speaking to CEOs, hedge fund managers, but they all have one thing in common. They struggle to communicate. I'm very good at communicating.
Yes, you are.
So I'm
You
gonna
are
show
indeed.
how to communicate.
Yeah.
You're very, very good, man.
So that's what it is, bro. So
Yeah.
of course, when you get into your coaching bag, you're gonna be coaching people older than you.
Yeah,
like,
well.
in that room, you know, bro, you've done research. You know exactly that you're gonna be showing it. And I love that transition. I walk in, they look at me, and I can tell there's a little bit of a.
What's he know?
Yeah,
What's he
yeah.
know?
And by the end of the class, bro, people come up to me, shake my hand.
Yeah.
I've had people cry.
What?
Wow.
Yesterday, I had a lady saying like, I'm in awe of like this. And because I am authentically me, that authenticity, bro, I don't conform. It would be easy for me to try and put on the Queen's English and to not wear a hat and to wear a shirt.
Yeah.
I go like this, right? And I'm fully myself.
Yeah.
And I encourage them to be themselves.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of them are in corporate environments where they feel they have to be robotic. And I try and get them out of that.
What's interesting about that, we had Eman, do you know Eman Effect?
Yeah, you want to
Yeah, we had him on the show in the exact same seat.
Yeah.
So
Famous
he was
seat, you know?
this famous seat, you know what I'm saying? Greats to sat there and they're still sitting there today, including yourself. So we had him here and he was talking about how when he was doing what was he doing? It wasn't sales.
Were
it
you
was
working in Barclays?
Barclays in the finance
Customer
department. something like-
assistant.
It wasn't customer assistant. It was when he kind of did not wealth management, financial.
Was it one where he was in Shoreditch?
No,
No, it wasn't.
he was like a personal finance guy.
Yeah. Oh yes, in the room, and he went to the room with the guy.
So
Yeah,
essentially, he was helping people with their finances. People a lot older than them, just like yourself. And he was saying to these people, "Look, this is what you got to do. This, that, and the other." And he was trying to do the Queen's English, all that kind of stuff at the start. But then he realized when he dropped it and he started speaking like himself, the people that he was speaking to started revealing their accents, the way that they spoke. He realized that some of these people were from Liverpool. He realized that some of these people were from here, there, and everywhere, and they actually had a little bit of Cockney in them, and they just talking like, do you know what I'm saying?
Where's that coming from? The accent?
Do you see what I'm saying? And it's like when you reveal yourself, people reveal themselves.
So important, especially so with the coaching stuff. It's really important. For me, initially when I go in there, I am super vulnerable. I tell them, listen,
important.
I moved to London. I couldn't speak any English.
Wow.
It was rough.
That's still nuts to me because you speak amazing English,
Thank you.
amazing English.
Thank you. Tell them I couldn't communicate. I didn't even know the language, right? I was scared of getting words wrong.
Yeah.
I was getting laughed at in school for getting my sentences wrong.
Wow. Now look at you now, man. They ain't laughing now, are they?
You know what I'm trying to say?
Who's laughing now?
Who's laughing now?
Who's laughing now?
So I'm vulnerable so that it allows them to be vulnerable. I'm myself and I encourage them to be themselves.
Can I jump on that real quick, please, bro? I generally believe this, right? The number one currency in the world isn't pounds or isn't sterling or isn't anything, right? I believe the number one currency in the world is vulnerability. Because the mad thing is, when you're vulnerable people, as you said, as we've seen, when you're vulnerable with someone else, they'll be open and vulnerable with you too. And that's how change is really created.
100%.
Because when you're like, oh, hold on, you've been through that too, I've been through that too, I can help you, you can help me. That's when real change comes along. All this, I want to show my best part, my best face, my best angle, so I don't show you my other scars and my pain I've been through. Who on earth is that really helping?
100%.
And that's for me. That's why I'm so big on vulnerability.
Bro,
I'm
that's
very,
what
very
builds
well on that.
connections.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah.
That's what builds connections. And
Yeah.
to truly make an impact, you have to build a connection.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Right. So people can trust you.
Yes.
People need to be able to trust you, man. Especially nowadays, like so many people are trying to give you advice or whatever. Like, you don't know who to listen to.
Yeah.
Right. And if you feel you can trust someone, you're like, okay, this is someone I can trust, understands me. I'll take in their advice.
Yeah. Question, bro. Right. I know we're gonna kind of go around in a circle, but that's all good though. You say you've impacted over 100,000 people, right? Children. I'm including the people who you've had in the seminars too, right? In 100,000. What's been the biggest impact you've seen, like the biggest impact from your words people you've had on someone?
I like
So interesting. So the work I do varies so much that with the kids, for example, I go in there, I give them an assembly. A lot of them will then message me on Instagram and say, thank you so much. Well, you'll be surprised.
Damn, how old are they? New generation, though.
New gen, bro. New gen.
New
They're in year
gen.
5, handing in their iPhones at reception.
Really?
Yes. It's different.
Wow.
It's different.
Okay.
It's different.
Great.
It's different.
I didn't even know about. Obviously, we didn't.
Yeah.
Was it even a thing about?
Nah,
I feel like,
it
I feel like,
wasn't.
did I have a phone?
For us, it was way later.
Yeah.
It must have been way late. Yeah, it was secondary school.
Secondary school. And then we had
to hand in the phone
BlackBerry.
if we were
Yeah.
doing a, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Blackberries were
Blackberry.
the first wave. Yeah. And then
And
the
even with
iPhone.
BBM, like, it's quite a closed environment.
Yeah.
Like, we
Yeah.
don't have like Instagram where the whole world could.
Yeah,
Different,
true.
different. So the kids, but mainly usually the teenagers, the sixth formers, the secondary school,
Dope.
they'll message me saying, thank you so much. Your message was amazing. But in reality, I can't really see the effects that I've had, right? I just know that in that moment, they've left inspired, and I'm hoping that that motivation then turns into discipline, and then they
That's
can
it,
do
man.
their thing.
You'll see. You know what? One thing ET said. Sorry, I'm gonna let you get right back to that.
Yeah.
One thing ET said. Yeah, he will speak to some kids like years and years and years ago. He'll forget he even spoke to them.
Wow.
And then years and years later, they come up to him. Hey, ET man, thank you so much, man. You changed my life, bro. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Whatever.
What it takes.
Because of him just speaking
That's
to them
what
at
it
one point in time in their life. But continue, bro. Continue.
That's it. So go with it one day. I've done it for long enough for those kids to now shout me. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But
Yes.
that's big.
Yeah.
So with the communications coaching, that's where I see it the most, man.
Right.
With communications, like what it is that what the analogy I always give, right? There's a voice in your head, you know, and which it also tells you about imposter syndrome. That voice in your head will tell you not to speak, that you're not good enough, your ideas are not valid, right? And we wish that voice goes away. That voice will never go away. Rather than wishing the voice went away, you have to learn how to deal with that voice.
And silence that voice.
Reduce the volume. That's exactly what I told you.
Reduce it. Yeah, reduce
The whole game is reducing that voice's volume.
Yeah.
When I'm coming into this room, the voice tells me, you're a young guy trying to teach these people about communication. What are you trying to do? Right. And I'll tell the voice, good one. Leave me alone.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So on the exercise, we do certain activities to help them get less in their mind because they're overthinkers, right? So there are people that in my communications classes, for the first time in their life, they were able to show that voice who's boss.
That's powerful.
Bro. So they come up and they speak. Usually my communications classes will have 30, 20 people.
Like a classroom.
Classroom. So there'll be like, there was a woman who worked in a school for ages, said she had the leave-in, she left, she didn't even want to have a leave-in do. She didn't tell anyone she was leaving because she's never spoken in front of a group of people before in her life.
How
right?
old? Do you know, like ballpark age of her?
Between 40 and 50.
And bro, you know what's so interesting about that? I said to you off camera.
40 to 50 years of life, human life.
It's
That
crazy.
you haven't spoken in front of a room.
And she did it for the first time in my class.
Yeah.
Afterwards, she cried and hugged me.
Bro, you know what's so crazy about that? I said to you off camera. We said to you off camera. Public speaking is the hardest soft skill. And the more and more I go through life, the more and more I realize why. Because, bro, as you said, so many people are on their heads when it comes to public speaking. They're like, what if I stutter? What if I come across wrong? But as you said there, the most important thing is to silence that voice. Reduce that volume in the voice, because the thing is, though, the most important thing you can do is give your best version of yourself through your words, because at the end of the day, you can give something to someone which can change their whole life. Just by your words. You don't have to be a renowned speaker. Just speak your truth.
100%. And with that voice, we'll just play a very quick game that I do in the class.
Yeah.
Give you, man, 5 seconds to count as many black things as you can see in this room now.
Black things right
Black
now.
things, Yeah. All right, John, how many did you see?
9, they're 10.
10? How many did you see?
1, 2, 3.
But you can't.
Hey!
I can't count.
No, you had 10 seconds.
Like 5.
5. All right, cool. Now let's do white quickly. How many white things can you see? 5 seconds, I'll give you. Look around. How many white things can you see? All right, how many white things do you see?
4.
How many white things?
6.
Cool. Did you notice when you're looking for the black stuff, you didn't even notice the white?
Yeah.
Didn't even notice the white. When you're looking for the white stuff, the black didn't matter. 'Cause that's what you look for, you see. If you're going into your
That's good, man. That's good.
Yeah.
I lie.
Yeah,
If you go into your presentation, that voice is telling you, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? That's all you're gonna see, and you're gonna be infatuated with negative thoughts. Of course, you're gonna be anxious. If you shift that perspective and you just think, what are all the good things that can happen? That's what your brain will focus on, and the negatives will be blurred out.
Yeah.
You'll be a lot less anxious. So just these little things can just reframe your thinking and just allow you to reduce that volume.
That's so good, man. One thing I've realized, right?
That was good. I like that one.
That's really good. One thing
I
I've
might
realized,
use that one still.
Use it.
yeah, run
Use
it,
it.
man. One thing I've realized, right, when it comes to anxiety, which we were talking about, right? One thing I've realized is that this anxiety is stemmed. Also, I don't know all the medical stuff behind it, right? But a lot of it is stemmed in the whole idea of control. So when it comes to public speaking, the reason why people are so anxious, right, is because they're trying to control the variables. What if they don't like what I'm saying? What if I do this? What if I do that? But the most important thing to do is relinquish control. Once you relinquish control, you'd be so surprised what you can say. And that's the same thing for confidence too, bro, man. Through me doing my research right now, as I'm growing, getting ready to create my program, one of the biggest things that stop people from confidence building, bro, is them trying to control all the variables.
Wow.
It's so detrimental in all parts of life. Like, people in society feel like the best way to do everything in life is to control every single variable. But there's a real blessing. You just relinquish your control.
Relinquish control is really, really good. It's similar to something I say, right, with the guys, is that one of the other biggest killers of communication is fear of judgment.
Wow.
One of the biggest killers of communication. The reason why, so we do certain exercises, right? Certain activities. So simple activities, guys. So we'll do like word association, right? So you say a word, t-shirt, I'll say the first word that comes to mind, all right? So t-shirt, summer, holiday, sun, Jamaica.
We did that
chicken,
game. We didn't
whatever.
do it properly. But
Yeah.
we did that game.
Boom. And some of these people struggle because they fear saying the wrong thing. They fear saying something that isn't smart.
Something
something
so
that isn't funny,
simple.
something so simple.
Wow. Feel
Right?
being funny.
They want to impress with their one word. Then I extend it to like a sentence, right? And then we do like a story. So it would be like, on my way to the shop, I saw a cat, and I'll continue. The cat was and we're just saying a random story. And some of them find it a lot easier than the one word. Some of them find it harder. People that find it harder are the people that they try to make the story make sense. And they're overthinking it again. People that find it easier are the people that the fear of judgment just went from this to this, right? The reason why you can communicate to family and friends is because you don't fear their judgment, right? So people sometimes think the fear is public speaking. The fear is not public speaking. It's a fear of public perception. Because, do you get it?
Yeah,
Because if we say public speaking, we could take number 20, right? You can speak to 20 people you are familiar with, your family, your friends, your kids, but your ability to communicate will be fine.
Yeah.
However, if you take 20 people in an investment opportunity, a live podcast event, all of a sudden you haven't got that control. You're thinking, what are these people thinking?
How do you find that, by the way, the live podcast?
Fantastic, bro.
Come on,
thank
man.
you. Thank you.
Amazing.
Appreciate
Like,
it.
if you haven't been to the live podcast, you need to go to the next one.
You need to come through, man.
Amazing. I thought that was so good.
Wow.
Wait,
Even as a network on-
as a speaker, how did you feel like we performed?
Yeah.
That was our first
That was our
event,
first
innit?
one, yeah.
you wouldn't be able to tell, bro.
Wow.
A lot of us, like, we are so much better than we think we are.
I think I agree.
Honestly, even with me
Yeah.
and my communications, like, I just thought, obviously I've been through ups and downs and stuff, but generally little things like when I was a kid, my mum would let me sing in church on my birthday, right? That was training.
Yes, it was.
She didn't know the seed that she planted in there, A lot of us are a lot better than we think because coaching hundreds and thousands of people, a lot of people wouldn't be able to do what you guys did, man.
Wow. I didn't even put it into perspective. It was just, so much was happening around that time. I was just like, hey, we'll go get on. It was like we were planning it, and then, all right, you got to get on stage now. Do you know what I'm saying? And it just happened.
Sometimes we just think things are, but they're real gifts.
Honestly, man.
But they're real gifts.
I can't wait till December for me to be able to reflect on this whole year. Obviously, reflected throughout the whole year, but I need to have that time, that curative time, to be like, wow, because what we've done, bro. I'm very proud of us, man.
Ridiculous, boys.
Me too,
I'm
bro.
telling you guys, what you guys are doing.
250 last time in our first event, 2 weeks ago now, which had like 60 people in the room. It was
Amazing,
man. Yeah.
People are paying their hard-earned money to come and hear you speak. You guys are speakers.
Yeah.
What want to say?
I guess we are speakers now.
Speakers, man.
I guess we are speakers.
We play down like what we do, but like
yeah.
there are people in this world that you'd think, especially some people come to my classes, you'd think, how are you not confident? You've managed to carve this career, but they were faking it.
Bro, do you know what's so interesting? Last week, so not yesterday, as I said, we came here for like podcast, right? We were talking about imposter syndrome. And I said, was something which came to my head at that moment, which I think is such a good point, bro, right?
If you don't say it, say yourself.
If I don't say it to myself, right? The reason why people downplay their own achievements, right, is because they don't carry a internal CV of what they've done.
Yeah, I like that. I was clicking when he was saying that,
Bro. Come on, man, come on.
Yeah.
Man. But when you go to the workplace, right? You know you have to give a CV for what you've done.
Yeah,
But when it comes to your own life now, you're going to rooms where you feel like you're like out of place, you don't feel like you deserve to be there. Where's the internal CV of what you've done? Yeah, no, I went to athletic. For you, for example, yes, I was the #1 champion in Italy. Yes, I've gone through the highs and lows. Yes, I've gone through all of that, but I've still stayed sane. I still kept on pushing. For myself, for example, I couldn't speak until I was 7 years. I couldn't speak until I was 7 years old. I went through all these highs and lows, but here I am today. Jono, he had a job. He left his job, pursued his own passion. Now look at him now, having his own podcast, pivoting his company. These are all things we don't really talk about. And for you guys in the audience too, behind the camera, please reflect. Pause this for like 5 seconds. Reflect on how far you've come.
Yeah.
I'm passionate right now because where's the time? There's no time. Life moves so fast. There's no time for us to actually have those internal CVs of how far we've come. Reflect on how far you've come, please, because you potentially could be missing out on opportunities which you should and you must be taking. I'm passionate now, man.
I hear it, bro.
I'm passionate, bro.
It's
Because
something serious. So to inject.
yeah, please.
That I tell like most people. So I'm big on personal development.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Strengths and weaknesses, man.
Mm.
A lot of people, you ask them what your strengths, what your weaknesses, they will not know.
yeah.
Or if anything, they know their weakness is not their strength.
That's a good
What,
one.
you ask them, what you good at? Well, I'm not good at this. No.
It's not.
What are you good at?
Bro,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what, yeah? I did this because obviously when I started my confidence coaching, right, I'm practicing on a few of my friends, right? And I remember one girl clearly, one of my clients, I was working with her. And I asked her, let's talk. What are your strengths? Bro, that's what you heard.
Nothing.
Okay, what's your weaknesses?
It's crazy.
This is wrong. How can this be? Because, bro, one of the biggest hindrances to confidence building is neglecting how far you've come.
Yeah.
Neglecting how far you've come. If you don't know how far you've come, you don't know where you're going to go. If you don't know where you're going, how the heck can you have confidence in yourself?
Serious.
So,
Nah, serious.
It's so interesting, so staggering how people just don't understand and don't know how to reflect on how much they've done. Because, as you said, bro, we've done a lot more things than we actually give ourselves credit
Yeah.
for.
100%.
And that comes through reflection, being able to see that
On a daily basis, by the
on a
way.
daily basis, regular reflection.
100%.
And I wanted to go quickly back to what we were saying before about judgment. I wanted to say something about judgment. And I've realized, one thing I've realized here with judgment is that
Run it, bro. I know he's going to spit. Nah. I'm ready.
is that all right? I was speaking to one of my friends,
Yeah.
and then I was like to her, why don't you post? Like, why don't you post all this kind of stuff? She's like, what people gonna think, all this other kind of stuff. And I remember in a later conversation we were speaking, and then she was telling me how girls will actually speak to their friends and they'll send their friends like pictures of other people and then they'll actually judge them. They'll say, oh, why is she wearing this? Why is she doing that? Why is that person doing that? Why is that person over there? And they'll be seeing that they're actually judging. They'll be judging other people.
Self-projection.
And then they'll be wondering why is it that they can't post? Because they're fearing that other people are going to act the same way to them that they act to other people.
Projection.
It's that. Do you see what I'm saying?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's so true. You know?
Yeah.
And I had that realization right there.
That's a very, very good point. And a lot of people that feel judged is because they do a hell of a lot of judging.
That's it, bro.
It's crazy.
So, bro, talk to us, right? Someone who stumbles on our page, stumbles on our podcast, social media. What's the 3 biggest tips you give someone in terms of how to increase their speaking and improve their speaking?
3 tips on how to
3
improve their
tips,
speaking.
yeah.
Very interesting. Number 1, practice.
I like that.
We overcomplicate so many things.
Yeah.
I tell my guys, the best way to get better at speaking and communicating is by speaking and communicating.
It's that
Real
simple,
life.
isn't it?
Real life.
You
It's
can
that
read
simple.
books, you can do all of that stuff, but that's the theory. And it's
Yeah.
just like driving. You do your theory test,
Yeah.
but then you have to get in a car and
Come
practice
on,
all the
bro.
things that you just read in the
Come
theory,
on, bro. Come on.
So practice. But number 1, but for you to be able to get that practice, confidence. That's something you really put it to work on. Get your confidence coach.
Get your confidence coach, you know what I mean?
Come on, man.
Get
Here
your
I am like
confidence
Rick Ross.
Ricky
Rose.
Your confidence coach. And confidence is, as you are well aware,
Yeah.
there's many layers to confidence,
many
right?
layers, man.
So I think confidence is also the evidence you have. So before I had evidence that I wasn't confident because when I was in Italy, I just wasn't a confidence guy, right? Like I was the only black kid in my school, only black kid in my area. No girl ever fancied me. People would stare at me on the bus and like move. So,
Wow.
I'm saying that those are the experiences. So as a result, I just wasn't confident. When I started to try and break that status quo. I started to do things, and I started to rewire the story I told myself about myself.
The self-narration.
Very important.
Yeah.
And number 3, I'd really say invest in yourself.
What was number 2? Sorry. Oh, confidence. Yes.
And I'd say invest in yourself, because that kind of wraps it up and rounds it up really well. Whatever skill you want to get better at, don't be scared to invest
That's a very good point.
in improving that skill, right?
Monetary, by the way, guys.
Monetary, time and energy. Time and energy and money.
Yeah.
Because what it is that with the investment piece, a lot of times we bury our head under the sand.
Yeah, easy.
You know, especially something you're not good at, right? So I'm guilty of it. I cannot swim, right? I'm still haven't learned, you know. But the difference with that is that it's not a skill that I require right now, and it's all right. But for some of you, you need to be able to speak. You need to be able to communicate, right?
For some, bro, everyone needs to be
able to communicate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? But you're burying your head under the sand, right? And often we actually improve at things a lot faster than we think, but it takes us years to make that first step.
Wow.
There's a study that says 20 hours of focused effort and you can get pretty good. You will not be an expert, but you'll be pretty good.
Interesting.
If you do 20 hours of driving focused, if you do 20 hours of anything, piano, you'll be decent.
Damn.
But for some people, it takes 7 years to make that first step. So I say, don't be scared to invest in yourself, man. To invest in a book, a coach, a course. Guys, whatever we don't change, we choose.
Wow.
I like that.
Whatever we don't change, we choose.
Whether it's your partner, your work, your skill set.
Yeah.
If you don't change it, you're deciding that you're okay with it.
Yeah, because you're in control, ultimately. Ultimately, you're in control. Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes bro. I need to deep that
Whatever you don't change, you choose.
Whatever you don't change, you choose. Yeah, it's true.
Because you're in control, ultimately. Like you have the decision to actually choose something different. So essentially, you're choosing what you are currently with.
And it's also crazy.
Even nothing is doing something.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Personal development is that point summed up in one point you just said there. Personal development is that I had there that you personally can work to improve yourself, right?
Simple.
Obviously with faith, for myself, for example, ourselves with faith, of course. But what you said, what you don't change, you choose. It's exactly the same thing. Personal development is about you being proactive and changing yourself. And what you're saying there is about being proactive and changing yourself.
Simple.
If you don't change it, then you're allowing it to happen. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Simple.
Wow.
Simple. If you don't change, you choose. I got a question for you guys.
Talk.
If you don't mind.
Well, we love it, man.
Yeah?
Please.
This is purpose-led.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to ask you guys, what, if you could summarize it in one sentence, because I have my own kind of definition. What is purpose?
Wow. So that's such a good point.
I got my little.
Yeah?
I like to keep things simple, innit?
You go
I
first,
believe it is what you have been put on this earth to do. What is that one thing that you've been put on this earth to do? It doesn't have to be something specific like my purpose is to paint this wall. It might be it's something more broad, and it can be done in particular ways, which is your calling, right? So your calling actually might change, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I believe your purpose is what you are brought here to do, what you are put on this planet to do.
And then to follow that on, how do we help people find their purpose?
That's the thing. My way is through inspiration. I'm going to inspire you to say, okay, what is my purpose? How can I find my purpose? Where do I have to go? What do I have to look at? And through our content, that is what we hope to bring to people.
I love it.
So for me, what is purpose? For me, purpose is similar to what you said there. The reason why I've been put on this earth to inspire other people. That's
your purpose.
So purpose as a whole is why we've been put on this earth. And for me, it's all links back to how can we, as a Christian, how can we glorify the Father? So everything I do has to be back. Everyone's purpose, I believe, has to be how are you glorifying the Father? Because a big part of purpose, right, is other people. Purpose simply cannot just be about yourself. It can't be, because that's not purpose. That's just a self-righteous goal. So purpose has to be bigger than you.
I like that.
It has to be bigger than what you have today, and it has to be bigger, hopefully, than you when you're not here. Purpose is about. I heard one person say, when was Zach, residual impact.
Big up, Zach.
Residual. A big part of purpose, right, is how you residually impact other people. So for me, my purpose, I believe, and before I even get to my purpose, right, everyone's purpose is to help people. That's a fundamental fact. However, as John said, right, we'll have different facets of how we do that, right? For me, my purpose is to inspire people to take action in their life by using my words. that is my purpose.
Amazing.
That's why we're put on this earth to do. And everyone has different facets of how they do that, right?
100%.
But for me, that's my one there. So, and I do that by helping people become the best version of themselves, by allowing them to become the most confident versions.
I like it.
I like that.
I like it.
What about you?
So I genuinely feel like you can't live a meaningful life without finding what your purpose is.
Of course, yeah.
Right? So it's something that you have to try and find. And I try and simplify it. Like some people say, what is your why? You know, some people say, you know, what do you want? Like, is there like a cause that you have to fight for? There has to be something, like I said, it has to be people orientated.
Bigger than you
Give
also.
some sort of direction, yeah. So my kind of theory is quite funny. So I think struggle in life is normal, like in the sense that everything is difficult, in my opinion. So working at McDonald's, right, it's very difficult. Like you under a lot of pressure, getting put under pressure in a very fast-paced environment, very difficult. Being a teacher is very, very difficult, you know. Being a speaker, entrepreneur, it's very, very difficult. So if everything is difficult, then for me, purpose is finding something worth suffering for.
I like that. I like that.
Something we're suffering for.
Because I'm going to suffer whatever kind of
Regardless.
path I take.
Yeah.
Choose your
Right?
choose your difficult. Choose your
know?
suffering.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, if I'm going to suffer, I might as well suffer doing something I enjoy.
Yes.
Something where I can impact people, where I can
Yes.
add value to people's lives.
Great point.
You know, and that for me is purpose. Finding something worth waking up in the morning. Your brain, that voice will tell you, oh, yeah, we're here again. But because you have the purpose, you can reduce that volume and
That's
be like,
so good, man.
instead of, so for me, it happens on a regular. Obviously, I'm traveling schools all the time.
Yeah.
The voice will tell me, what? I've got to drive 3 hours to go to a school. That's long. But then I tell that voice, I get to drive 3 hours.
Perspective shift.
And that's why, bro,
Yeah.
I said before, that's why we want you on this podcast, because the vulnerability is crazy. Yes, purpose is amazing. Yes, I love what I do. John loves what he does. But bro, there's some days we don't want to come here. But I know, and John knows.
It's a long drive, bro.
It's a long drive.
It's a long
But
drive,
Jo-
bro.
from south, you know,
South
it's,
side
bro,
of the river.
It's south side of the
South side of the
river.
river.
It's on the south side.
Yeah.
No,
But
I mean,
myself and John, we both know impact over impressions. Like on my way here today, I was like, obviously, I came from work, tired, man. But I literally said to myself, I want to, and I know John wants to too. We want to inspire. So if one person even takes this in, it's like, you know what? This is something which has helped me. That's me fulfilling my purpose. That's for me fulfilling my mandate while I'm here.
Finding something worth suffering for.
Yeah.
indeed.
It's long.
Yes, that's literally it. Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
Friday. You want to go home.
Yeah.
You have your weekend.
Yeah.
But you're like, I'm going to suffer a little bit more, but it's worth it.
Yeah, because like we're here, we're having a great conversation.
Amazing
And
conversation.
after this conversation, this is gonna go out to the people, and this might affect the next. Who knows who this can affect? This can affect a 13-year-old girl who doesn't even know, but one day in the future, this will be the reason that she started to speak and inspired millions of people in 20 years' time.
Bro,
We don't
I
know.
want to say something which is so good off that, by the way.
Go on.
See, impact, right? And purpose. We need to be so... How do I say this?
Chat to me.
We need to be so okay with the fact that our purpose might not necessarily in the moment change someone's life. We need to be okay with that. For me, for example, how can I explain it? So maybe someone's purpose was to help love broski. No, I think that's a bit too high. Is that cool?
Point it.
Perfect. So someone's purpose. Okay, let me give an example, right? It's not really linked to purpose, but for me, when I get my life to Christ, right? There's many people on the journey who helped me get to that point. For me to be like, you know what, boom, I'm giving my life to Christ.
Okay.
As people who are walking in purpose, right, we have to be okay with the fact that you might put words into their life, but they might not work on it or act on it for many, many years to come. Many, many more years to come. And that's why you need to be away from the situation for you to be able to be, you need to be away from the situation so you could be content with the fact that it's not all about you.
Do you know what's crazy? Like, I was speaking to one of a super entrepreneur. His name is Gerald, right? And he was saying how the state he's trying to get into, like the highest state is, I forgot what he called it, but he said it's beyond selfless.
That's it, bro. Selfless.
Beyond selfless.
Yeah.
But beyond that,
Beyond it. He said beyond selfless is
that.
when you do things and you don't even want people to know it was you that did it. When I think of that, I went to Sicily recently.
Wow.
There was this mad bridge. Bro. This bridge literally connected like a mountain to the seaside. Like it looked, it must have taken years to build. And I know the person whose idea it was to build it never saw it in their lifetime. They couldn't have.
Really?
They couldn't. It must have
because
taken
it would have
years-
taken so long.
years to build. So
Oh,
someone would have come
wow.
with that idea of, it would be nice to connect that mountain to that beach, right? Let's think of a bridge. Probably got his engineers together, etc. And by the time the bridge was done, he might not have been alive. But he had that vision of like, this one, it's not for me.
That's
for the next
exactly
journey.
that's exactly what I mean, bro.
And even the pyramids.
You don't have
pyramids as well, same thing.
Exactly, but that's exactly what I mean. Like you said perfectly right there, man. When it comes to purpose, right, you have to be so distant from the fact that it's not all about you. You have to be so distant from the fact that
It's not about you. Matter of fact,
it's not about you at all. Like I might put words into your heart, I might deposit things into you from my words, but the action and the change might not happen right there. It might happen in 10 years' time, and someone else might be the person which is like, boom, that's why you did it. But as long as I play my part, that's it.
Facts.
That's it, man. And that's for everyone right now. Like we have to be so much more selfish of it, man. Like it's not about you. It's not about me. It's not about bro. It's not about us. Distance yourself from the situation and just do your part. That's it. Do your part. That's all you need to do.
That will help people tap into that vulnerability. Because then they'll feel, people aren't vulnerable because they're scared of what people are going to think.
Yeah, fortunately so.
So usually. So if you understand that it's not even about you, then how can you be scared of what people think? Yeah, that's not about me at all.
That's
right?
the perspective shift I had.
100%. It's so important, even with the public speaking. It's something that I tell in the class. So the exercise I do to help them understand that, I let them make eye contact with each other. Yeah. So you're making eye contact with a stranger for 2 minutes. It's very, very awkward.
Uncomfortable, yeah.
Very, very awkward.
Yeah.
So the first minute, I'll just say, make eye contact. You're not allowed to say a word. It's awkward. Everyone's laughing, giggling. And then after a minute, I introduce some questions.
Okay.
So I say, okay, ask yourself, maintain the eye contact, but ask yourself this question. Has this person in front of me got a story to tell? We'll also have no more giggles. Because it's no longer about them.
Yeah.
They've removed that spotlight from themselves, put it onto someone else. It's not about how awkward it is. And they look at their nose, they look at their mouth. They're now connected with someone else. It's now beyond them. And they find it so much easier to make eye contact, to connect. It goes deep, man. It's so, so, so important.
I like that one. People can actually use that in real life as well. Like take that one in. But obviously we gotta get out of here soon. So unfortunately, and if you lot want a part 2, give us a, you know what I'm saying, let us know in the comments and all that kind of stuff. 'Cause I know I want a part 2.
Yeah,
Listen, part 2 has to happen.
But before all of that, and before we actually wrap it up, I know Rob usually likes to say this.
Yeah.
But are you happy with
perfect,
where
bro.
you are right now?
Great question, bro.
Very, very good question.
Use your question.
Our
question.
Yeah. And it's an amazing question because I truly am.
Amazing, bro.
And I think that's what's so amazing about the place I'm in at the moment.
Yeah.
Truly, truly, truly happy.
Gratitude.
You know, and it's gratitude. It's gratitude, and I go about my life on a day-to-day basis. Of course, I'm ambitious and I strive for more, but I just thank God.
Amen.
Right? And what I'm doing, like honestly, the reason I am the way I am is because I want to inspire people as well.
Yeah.
And I don't even just want to tell people, just like you guys, I want to show people it can be done. Like what I'm doing, I'm not an alien, bro. I'm not. I was working at Sainsbury's, just like a lot of people may be doing.
I was.
Do you know what I'm saying? But the difference with me is that I decided to work on this. Right? I worked on my mindset. I reframed the way I saw life, the way I saw business, the way I saw people. Right? Started to chase off different type of opportunities, higher leverage opportunities. And then little by, I didn't give up, persistence. You know, just simple principles that I followed. And it's got me to where I am today, and God willing, where I'll be in the future. So, you know, I am truly happy because I feel like I did things the right way. Right? I don't feel like I got lucky.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. And I'm blessed to be here speaking to you guys here today.
Well,
I'm blessed to have you here.
Well, bro, do you know what, yeah? Obviously, God willing, part 2. But, bro,
We'll make it
in the meantime, right, from the whole team, Grace there too, big up Gracie
big up
too,
Gracie.
man. We want to wish you the best too, bro, with the Olympics, bro.
Yes, indeed.
With the speaking, we pray you touch even millions more people. But, bro, it's not about the numbers, it's about the impact. We pray you impact, not touch or not see, you impact millions more people, bro. And you smash at the Olympics, bro. And you'll be there, man.
100%.
The mindset you have, bro, you'll be there, man.
100%.
100%, man. Like, for real. But on that note there, guys, we are done. I've thoroughly enjoyed this episode. Have you?
Likewise, I thoroughly enjoyed it
Yeah.
too. Great communication.
Great
Great
And you know what's so
communication.
bad about this episode here? This probably been the one which you've structured the least.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
big
because
man.
we started structuring episodes a lot less because of when we started doing live shows.
Yeah.
We started to realize, okay, it works better when it's not as structured.
Yeah,
You see, it flows a lot better, just like
100%.
this one has as well.
Conversation.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Man, I would love to come back for part 2.
Bro, we love for you to come back. But
Do you know what I'm saying? We love you to come back.
people, just make it happen, man.
Make it happen.
One wants it, two wants it, three. Come on, man. Make it
You
happen,
know what I'm
man.
saying? Make it happen.
But yeah, guys, thank you all so much for your time today. Guys, before we go any further, if you haven't already on audio platforms, leave a 5-star rating. Trust and believe and trust. It goes such a long way. Additionally to this, guys, please go on to YouTube, leave a comment there, leave a like, show some love to our guests too.
And subscribe.
Too. And also one other thing too. What's the biggest takeaway you had from this episode?
That's what I want to see in the comments.
Yeah, what's the biggest takeaway?
Man. I'll be in the comments. Just
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Peruse in the comments.
What's the biggest takeaway? Because at the end of the day, right, we don't want just views. Yeah, it's cool, whatever. But what we really want is impact. We want impact. You see how passionate we were today?
Yeah.
Passionate, man.
Realness.
This is real. Yeah, it's realness, man. So, guys, tell us those 3 things there. So, first, the 5-star ratings, the comments, the likes,
subscriptions too.
Subscriptions too.
Yes, indeed.
And last but not least, share with your peoples, man. Share with your people. Trust me.
One person, matter of fact.
Yeah.
Share with one person that you think that this will benefit, that you know this will benefit. And there is always that one person in your life that you can share a message with and it will actually benefit them.
Let's get it, man.
Love for following, love for enjoying, and love for viewing. In a bit, people. Bow.
Love.